Hopefully the comments will work tonight. I reviewed it and went over it on the YouTube studio thing, and we'll see. But otherwise, there's my painting, the sunset. There we go. Okay, reference picture. Secondary reference picture. All right. So, got off to a couple minutes late start because things go wrong, right? Okay, so I'm going to be working on the waves, the reflection, and things like that. So let's wait till a couple people get on here. This busy looking thing here is crazy. But anyway, I know what I'm doing with it. Okay, I hope the sound is good. Let me check on that. If the sound is good, whoever's on, can you just say you can hear me or it's good, whatever, you know? Comments did not work last week, so I'm going to back this away from the desk a little more so we can see a little bit more. There we go. Oh, good. I can finally hear. I mean, get a response. Dwayne, how you doing? Thanks for the feedback. I didn't know if it was working or not. All right. So we'll wait a couple minutes to get some. That was last week's demo. We'll get some more people on here. We're at 4. I'll start when I have 5. I'm only kidding. Okay. Yep. Michael, how you doing? Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you. So, yeah, I was going to do a little show and tell. Because this is a landscape, a seascape, let me get a painting or two that goes with it. It's in that family. Okay, I think I got enough here. All right. This first one is working on the ocean. It's out of focus here. It's got a very pastel sunset. This has the tape still on it here. So we've got, you know, a really, it's not finished. I have to work more on some little details in here and the final wave, and then tighten things up, make the in focus back here sharper. The reference picture is somewhere in the drawer over there, so I don't have that out. But as you can see, this has a nice, I'll take this off because it will just show you how I've been blocking the edge here. Okay, so it's going to be like that all the way around. And when it goes in a frame, it'll be that much nicer because the frame can kind of not cut off more of the picture. So there's that. It's pretty colors, right? Got it from Unsplash, meaning the reference picture. And this is another one that could be sharpened up a little more, but again, it's in the family of sunsets, sunrises, whatever you want to call it. And it looks too like I put it to the side and I didn't tighten things up. I guess this would be blurry out here, sharper in here. So it's playing around with perspective and out of focus bokeh, you know, that kind of stuff. Finally, we've got, this is the photograph, and there's your picture. Okay, so this is just about done. A couple of little reeds have to come up and brighten this up a little more, sharpen the sun with a stencil. Even though the sun is blurry on the edges, it still has a little more kick than mine has there. So some of the landscapes I've worked on over the years, maybe the year or years, I'm not sure. Okay, so this is part 3, and I'm going to get I'm going to focus on the actual waves and a few other things here and there, you know. Okay, so let's put that up around there. You can even slide it over a little bit. Okay, so I hate crooked. I was a sign guy, so we see the slightest little thing that's crooked, and we got to fix it, right? Okay, so there it is there. That way we can keep this down out of the way. Reference picture. Get this in. I'm going to back that out a little bit more. Okay, let's see if we can do that. So you guys can see the bigger picture, you know. Okay, so we got about 8 people here. Thank you for the like. Don't forget to share this video if you would. And if you like it, don't forget to put a like up, because that shows me that somebody likes it, and it also shows a better algorithm, according to what I've been told. Okay, so yeah, here we go. So if you really look, let's take the smaller picture. Now I got 2 nice reference pictures, so I'll bring it up close. All right, so what I was studying to make this all come about is I was studying the glow in the orange in the ocean, and you have to really look close. I'm going to probably turn off the fan. Yeah, give me a second. My fan is moving my arm that holds the phone. I don't want to turn it off. It helps get the air conditioning moving around better, but it's all right. So now we got a steadier thing here. I'm going to move this arm back over this way a little bit. Don't worry about this angle. I'm not leaving you there. It's a flexible arm, you know. I just don't want it to crash into the picture. I'll put it over there. I think get it more perpendicular with this. Okay, and now we will. People jump on and jump off quickly, I notice. I don't know if sunsets are boring to them or what, but maybe they come back and check it later. Okay, so we have our 2 original guys here, and that's good. Okay, so we're going to work on the water. I do have a stencil for finding any of the sharper parts of the wave. So this would be the exact same size that I could put up there, and then find some of the waves down below. So I'll just be leaving that there for now. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look for the orange glow in the ocean. Okay, that would be right, whoops. And I found out that it basically is, it's the yellow that I've used in the sky, and it is also the orange that I used down here. So let me get that going. So it's the orange that's going off to the right and the left. And I'm going to get rid of these dots. They are just ghost-like starting points of where this all goes. You know, like pretty much if you look here, you know, because the drawing is kind of gone. It's halfway in, so you can come in about there, and that's where my dot is, and the other one's pretty accurate too. So here we go. Get some micron going here. I'm using Createx paints. Made some mixtures that, I don't know if that's water in the gun. Probably water. Okay. So let me get my color going here. I'm going to go with, okay, a yellow, white, orange, and violet mixture with a little burnt sienna, and you got that. These are from 2 weeks ago. These maybe last week. Some of them lasted 2 weeks, but I'm just circular types mixing, just getting it going. Oh yeah, Dwayne? That must be very busy. Wow. Okay, so album covers. Ooh, just testing the gun on the side. There we go. All right, so actually looking at this now. Okay, so the yellow, and I can use the sky, this part, because it's straight from the copy machine, so it's perfectly straight. I can use this for just putting in a little bit of the yellow. Let me make sure it's there. Hold on a second. Yeah, it is. It's just a very fine spread right off the edge of that, right where the glove starts to enter. Let me check it. Yeah, a little more. Okay, so we get to do that one more time, subtly. That should be good. Yeah, it's just, that's where it is. And then it kind of is in this area, except I see a little bit of erasing I have to do right here. I don't know what I was doing or if that was an overspray from the top. Let me just get that out of there. And it's not coming out with that eraser, that's for sure. So I'll just go in between those pencil lines. That one's history. They do break a lot if you're really pushing on them. So just cleaning up the top of the other one. Push this back in here. I really don't have to do this because it's going to be orange there anyway. Maybe that's what I was doing. Maybe I was indicating that I think some orange goes there. So instead of putting all my fingerprints over it, I should do that. Okay, and just clean that up a little. Let's knock that back a little bit more. That's what I like about this eraser. You can go skinny or you can do a broad strokes. Okay, so I touched it again anyway. I should really keep my mitts off there though. What is that? Okay, another pencil on. So now I'm going to take the orange and I'm going to put it into the water. Again, you're going to be looking around a lot of little notes. Okay, so you're going to take the orange and I'm going to be putting it right in the water. And over here, I can take that off. So it's dropping down, hitting real strong reflection, but it has your grays coming back in on top of it. So I'm just going to paint what I see. It gets confusing with the details, but just look at the lightest color and then start hunting for, you know, the two colors, which is the yellow, then the orange, and then you'll get where you want to go. So let's put a little bit of yellow right where it first starts, like right here. And I'm going to bring it down to here. So I'm using colors that are already made. I can even spread them out further because the orange is going to take over. You know, coming down here further, it is going to be in here, but I can add that as we go. So right now, that should do it with a little help from my eraser, pushing this back a little bit more that way. There goes the thunder. Oh, we got some thunderheads out there. Hopefully my party doesn't get ruined by a lights out kind of thing, but if it does, I'll either try to come back on or play it by ear. Let's see, what are you guys talking about? Sounds interesting. It's kind of old school style. Me too. Gives me a lot of creative license. That's cool. Okay, so let's take the orange now and get rid of the yellow. Probably put a little more out there. I'm not worried about pencil lines showing through it all because a lot of the little texture and details are going to go on top of it. I am using the 4021 reducer, and I want to just show you, I think I saved one color. Let me just open the color and see. I'm not sure which one it is. I just want to show you how they kind of dry up. Here's a good example. Okay, all the other ones are liquefied. That one looks like it's history, right? It's dried up looking, but it's got a watercolor kind. I use watercolors that have honey in it. It's called, um, it's Graham. Forget the first part of it. Graham's watercolors. Anyway, it's very sticky even right after you use it. So I'm just going to take, now this is from, you can't really pour that because but it looks ruined, right? But it had the 4021 reducer in it from the very beginning. That might be a little bit much. Let me just get rid of a bit of that. Just a bit. Now I'm going to take a paintbrush. And I'm going to stir that up right in front of you guys to see that we can wake that up. And the more reducer I put in there, it looks a little gunky right now. And it might have a piece, there's a piece that I might not want in the paint. But just to show you, I don't know, I'm putting about 4 extra drops in just now. It's coming back. It's coming back to be able to be sprayed. And that's amazing to me because you couldn't do that with the other reducer or anything. So I don't know if Createx knows that I'm experiencing this, but it is mixed with the 4021 originally. So now I have colors that I made, painstakingly made for matching purposes, quite a while ago. So let's see. I'm finding out. All right, so let's go with the number 8. I already put the 4021 in. And now we're just going to spray it very lightly. Maybe I could find even a lighter. Let's see. Let me just look at the other oranges. Number 4 lives. Where's 4? There it is, way up in the top. Maybe. It's a little dull. I'm gonna go with the orange right out of the bottom of the sky. Okay, so with very low volume, I'm going to start placing in, leaving a little bit of this. I get something going on here. All right, so it goes out to about, I'm saying right around here. So let's just dust it in. Leave that yellow. I'm going to try to bring the two together a little bit after I dust it in. The reason why it sort of looks gray, because there's a gray, kind of like mixture. It almost looks gray in here because there's gray shapes on top of it, and your eye starts to see all that and put it together as possibly a very confusing color. But you just break it down. Just break it down. I don't know how far out that goes. I'm in the area. I'm in the area. How strong is something you can learn as you go. Just keep looking at it because it's just going to go, it's actually going to go way over here, this very light mist. And the gray can come back over, but it's there. It's not so far on this side, maybe a little bit less, maybe into this area. It doesn't hurt to have it there, but it is there. And we get stronger right in there a little bit. And we're going to go over the yellow a little, make that yellow a little more golden. There we go. So now we have that shimmer waiting. And it's taking an opaque paint that I painted 100% up here and spraying it at 50% or maybe less, you know? I'm just going to work this over that way. Try to come in from the side here. I also noticed, but you'd have to see it on an angle, I had erased in this area. So I'm going to spray a little bit of this back on there. When you erase from an angle, you get a shine. My wife thought, is that damaged? And it wasn't damaged. It's like a satin finish on the end. You spray it and you hide that shine from erasing, because I didn't erase down to the board. Okay. We got Patrick here, Color Graphics 49. Hello, Brian Moore. How you doing? So all we're working on is the shimmer in the, yeah. And even some of these particles could be little pieces of orange, like right there. That would be gray over here more as it starts to go. And everything big, like this wave way back here, perspective, atmospheric perspective, distance. So it's not just like, oh, things are bigger in the foreground. That's the truth, and especially buildings and roads that go off into, you know, the distance. But shapes of the waves are tinier. As each one goes out, if you rode out in a boat to that wave, it would be just as big as this one, or it could be bigger if it was cresting or something like that. Okay, so we're just gonna put a little more orange in here. And I can always come back in, and I'm going to take the yellow now, being that that orange is just about empty. And I'm going to go over the orange, a little bit over the orange here with the yellow, with the orange. The orange over the yellow a little bit. So the glow is there, but it's both colors hitting. And then I'm going to take the yellow again, and I'm going to second coat lightly, treating this like transparent. So now I'm going to take that color and I'm going to spray it lightly over the orange to get more of a color I'm seeing in the real picture. So here we go. Yeah, I had no comments last week. I didn't know what that was. Okay, so here we go. We're going to just kind of bring this glow in on top of that orange, brightening everything up. And over here, and I'm going to look at the side view of this sky again, and I'm going to probably bring some yellow up higher too. There we go. Just covering a shine that you guys can't really see. A little bit up in the sky, a little more orange in this area. Do have orange? I have the yellow, that's right. I thought something was looking weird. So that needs to have that yellow there too, so I'm going to spray it in because there's a shine that you can't see. You see that light burst, and this orange over here, yellow, is stronger. It's just playing with lighting. Alrighty, little 4021 in there, and just send it into the cleaning station. I probably got to put that fan back on. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. And you guys talk amongst yourself. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, if the client don't like it, it's kind of like, I don't really have to deal with commissions anymore. I did in the sign business, whether it was sign work or artwork on a boat or whatever. Oh my gosh. You don't realize how much you don't miss it until it's gone. And the pressure of, well, couldn't that be just a little bit more like that? Doesn't really look like it or something like that. And you use, say, a projector to draw the image, and it does look like it. And then 99% of the people love it, and the owner of the boat is like barking. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with the gray. And the gray is a weird color. It is, I got to move this out of the way. It is made up of black, and it's made up of white, of course, yellow. Okay, this color that you see here is to be sprayed darks and lights. It's got cobalt blue in it. Maybe a little more than I have, but I can always add it later. Orange, of course, can quiet down. If you put too much cobalt blue in, it knocks it back. What's that last one? Light water. The light water. That's just a note. Okay, so what's going to happen with the water? You can move along quickly and sacrifice some of the attention to detail, or you can go slower and fanatically get it to look like every spot can be done, every little speckle can be put in. But having said that, yeah, it's up to you. I mean, there's different ways to do this that I'm not even showing you on here because I would have to work flat, and I don't work flat if I can help it. So that gray right away is starting to play around with overall edging and filling in. The more I get rid of the white, the more I have success with, finding the whole lights out kind of thing for the sunset. Okay, so I'm going to bring that up to there, and I'm going to indicate some of the waves that are going to come in the gray family. So we're just going to go right here. Spray it with authority in here. I'm dusting it in right now. Oops, my arm hit. Okay, so we got some guys out here that are going to be just dusted in for now, just to see something, Okay, so this guy is the top of that little guy here. I see I didn't show that. Sometimes just a split paper. This is just a split paper, and I'm looking at the real picture, so I'm going to take this section out. Get the X-acto knife. Kind of show you on the side here, I've got a cutting mat. So I'm just going to take that section out more. I'm going to bend it. I'll show you what I'm doing. It's coming out anyway. Okay, so if I line up this again, see I took that out, and I put it right back on top of the other little marks and things that I did. Whoops, slippery. Lift it up, put it in, make sure that it's lined up with the sprayed marks. And now I can get a nice top on this guy. And I'm going to spray the top darker. And just let it dust down like that. What else we got here? Oh, I hear the rain. Here it comes. This is dropping, so we're going to get this back up right in here. Kind of pick it little by little. Okay, so this one, yeah, it's going to start going out that way a little bit, like a feather stroke or baby dagger stroke. Now, what do we got here? I gotta get it right, because right in here they don't really work. They don't touch. So that's there, and somewhere in here it's going to be, this wave is going to kind of connect, but not totally. Let's see. Okay. So think of mountains. Think of all kinds of cool things, actually. Now it gets darker at the top. Okay. I found erasing a couple days later, a week later, was kind of cool too, because it was different. Right now, it's made to really be erased, almost like you're snow shoveling it off the edge. So we're going to get this. How dark is that wave? When you look at that, they are all kind of lost in the same value almost. So we can kind of just do that, aim down, not dirty up the sky. Okay, slowly but surely. Then there's going to be a lot of little, so many little things that are put in here, maybe even paintbrush work. And these represent tiny guys. It's going to be taking a while to get that stuff going, but for now, okay. Let's see, what did you say here? I'm watching Bill do this sunset, kind of remind me the color on that painting I just did. Oh yeah, wow. I can't sell mine. I tried. At $5 and $10, laugh out loud. Oh, they'll sell. Don't think of selling. Think of just painting till the cows come home. Man hours, not. Somebody might say I have airbrush for 5 years, and they might have picked the airbrush up a couple times in a month. Somebody else might say I have airbrush for a year, but they pick the airbrush up 4 or 5 times a week. Who's going to be ahead, right? That's what I said when I heard that statistic. It's like, yeah. Okay. Now remember, that's black. I'll determine how much black goes into these guys later. Got a little spider in there. I wonder. Okay. So, it's just going to take time, guys, to get it to where I need it to be. Yeah, there's going to be some orange in here. I'm going to kind of quiet this down a little bit. There are some lights and there are some areas that need to be kind of two-tone. Down in here. You can almost just do it super lightly and then sculpt. You can make it your own. You can back away from trying to do every little shape the same. There's not, it's an ocean, you know what I mean? It all depends on what you're trying to get, you know? That value is good for out here. So I'm going to start to sink some of this stuff after I put some paint in my gun. So, yeah, the gray is, maybe has a little more blue in it. It's hard to tell, but I can always tint it later. All right, so right in here, we got that one up here. We got this one, and then we've got this one. So let's try to do a freehand one. Then we could work on aiming down. That's nice, just to get it going. And we could quiet this down with a little, just a little spray, like that. Okay. I might have got a little dark out here, or a little too big in the shapes, but I was cutting out a stencil, so maybe not. Um, okay, let's see. This is definitely going to come down to here. And what will help too is the actual black that goes over this. This shine looks nice so far. Going to be a lot of orange in here. It's very dark. So where is that darkness? Put this up here and kind of find my way again. Is this split? Did I cut that out? Yeah, I did. So I want to use that part. I want to line up again the stencil. Even if I give myself a small indication of where I'm going, I'm seeing the other things not lining up, so I'm going to do that because they're supposed to. Okay, so I could pull that back like that and just give myself this wave that's coming in here, just like trying to find a drawing like that. That helps a lot, because now I know it's this line right here, but this is broken up a lot. And I'll be going in there working either with opaque paints or the dowel, moving out some of the shapes that are in there. It's crazy busy in there, twirling and speckles and all kinds of stuff. So right now, I don't know why I put that orange here. That orange goes there. Oh no, I see it's down here too. Okay, so this can get covered all the way over, and it goes on this angle. So I'll just tint that a little bit. Okay. So we're moving forward, and as we do this, you can see the actual nighttime starting to fall onto this water. And it only enhances the sky, and it enhances back and forth. It plays with the lighting. This is very dark down here. Just makes it look like the sun's almost down, you know? Okay, so see, the only problem with this can hit the, the gravity feeds don't really do that if you're trying to come in on an angle. So let's just see what I got here. Too dark. Not super too dark, but definitely too dark. Okay, so this piece here continues and goes right up to this one. Dip dry, real bad. Like cigarette ash hanging off there. Where was I? Right here. So just start in there, find a little dot, find yourself, and then just walk it over near that one. And then just stop and find yourself again. Okay, so if this one is here, and then there's going to be a lot of really cool things going on right here. Like this one drops down, and then it starts over again, separate, right here. They're split. Just little shapes. And this one here really goes to a point. Okay. And you can do all the tiny shapes first. I was wondering if I could find some of those shapes with a stencil that I don't have to cut out. I don't know. I got to see what I got. Moving along and looking for shapes and things that could work, but they have to be tiny. And this is a fur stencil, big one, and that's for like a wall for some kind of furry animal. And you got a lot of different shapes in there, but bottom line is it's not going to serve for this painting any kind of water in the distance. So I have to get Drew to make water in the distance, microscopic. I know he has a sunset painting, so probably could use some of the stencils from that. But right now, I am looking for, I don't know. I don't know what I got here. Just let me see. Edges, edges, edges. There's more for the top of a, like right in here. A little bit. Right in here maybe. Get down to the smaller shapes right there. And I think I could use that there because the water's kind of kicking up a little bit right here. Yeah, it's nicer, it's easier than going crazy trying to make every one of those little shapes. Let's see, we got more smoother ones over here. That might work right here. I'm going to kind of come in. Like that. Kind of give you some things to work with. You could put one or two here and there too. You don't want to get crazy. This starts going this way. Those kind of lines are going to make it really work out good. Hey, the zoom is behaving. It usually goes in and out, in and out. Yep, my color cup is hitting. I didn't want those little silly feet. Okay. Batter right here. Okay. Put a little bit down here. I know I'm probably blocking, right? Okay. So while we're zoomed in a little, let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of black on those two. And I'm going to mix my black. Not that it needs any other color in it. I'm talking about just reducing it a little more. Black out of the bottle. Mr. Leahy, how are you? I never got the notification with the tag, and I had. Okay. So, here we go. Yeah, I forgot to tag. I was going to tag some people, but forgot. See how it does without tagging somebody. They see enough advertisements that I put up. So we'll wing it tonight. If they don't, they can see it later, right? All right, where's the big brush? Come on, man. Okay. I have to put the fan back on. Hopefully the phone won't wiggle too much from it. I have, if you guys were in the studio, I have that, what do you call it? It's a roll-on for your neck. And it calms down tight muscles. Forget what mine's called. You know, all the different brands, Icy Hot and all those. Mine's the other brand, whatever it is. And between the heat in the room from me having the fan off and then the Icy Hot or whatever's on my back, it hurts. It burns. It feels like I want to cry. No. So we can get the sharper top. Whoops, sorry guys. So we want to go over here a little bit and get this reflection out of there. Okay, we're going to go to the corner of the picture, right there. Right there, I said. There we go. And we're going to take this cutout, and I'm going to look for this. Well, actually, it's hard to say. Does that really come down that far? Yeah. So I'm going to just rip that off. I need it now, and it should be fine, just to give me a guide of the top of this wave. Except it looks like it starts right there. I don't know. Something's not right. I'll just use that, and I'll stay away from that corner. So you get that mountain kind of thing going on. When I say mountain, I mean basically a stencil kind of look, because that's what the rolling hills are here of this one. So this would be to the top. And this, okay, that's this piece. So I need this to go. I know, Steve, you don't rip your stencils like this, but I'm just using a quick guide here. Look how thin that is. That ain't gonna work, right? It will. I'll make it work. I will aim down. That's good. That works. Air dry that a little, pull it off, and put the black in where it is. And it crashes into it right here. So this is black here, obviously. I'm going to just dust that over. I'll put the gray on top of it. And this black here kind of catches up with it. It kind of gets lost in here a little bit. It's more like lines. There's a nice splash rolling off there. I'll have to paint that with opaque paints. air dry that. Okay. Rolling down the river. Here, I'm just getting tight. There's a lot of little crazy shapes here. I might be able to get away with some of this stencil here. That works. The darker those waves get, the stronger the night scene sets in. Well, the zoom works. Sorry. Didn't work for me before. Okay. Distilled water in my squirt bottle, all different size squirt bottles, and of course 2041. 2041 doesn't even smell. The other one, 2011, whatever that was, 2012, that one, not 2012, that one smells, yeah, whatever it is, it's ruined here on this bottle, 4012. I don't like the smell of that. Put a scratch right through there, fingernail. Now I'm going to go back into some stronger orange in here. There goes the foam moving about. Okay, so let's get, what do I say I need? The orange. And the yellow first. Yellow first. Now if I have a dirty gun, it's going to be nasty. So I will make sure I flush that out a little better. Black and yellow. Ugly. I guess it goes green for a few minutes if there's blue in that black. Yeah, the color cup was filthy. Okay, let's flush this out. A little water, more water. And now I want to use the yellow. The reason why I'm putting the yellow in is because if you look here on the big one, you can see a lot of yellow, and then there's orange, and there's a lot of speckling. That could be the dowel, that could be spraying through speckling shapes of, I've got different stencils that might be able to give me some of that, but boy, that's tedious. But if you really think about it, this is the crazy part of the painting right here. And if you measured it, that would be about 1.5 inches to a pizza, slice of pizza, little, and that's all. That's the only area that has the craziest detail. So don't get overwhelmed because it's not in the rest of the picture, it's just not. So if you just like Drew says, postage stamp size thinking. As you move across the picture, you could say, well, what's the easiest part of the picture? What's the hardest part? Hey, look, guys, I'm done, except for my stickers. I'm done. Okay, so let's get the yellow. We'll just kind of stay in here. Yeah, it's kind of out here a little bit, out here. And then it gets buried. So I'll just, okay, so let's just go along here. And I can quiet that down with the grays and stuff and the speckles and the what have yous. Spraying that over kind of a area that's already kind of dirty. I'll just put it all the way through it back. Because whatever's underneath it, you can use later, right? Because it's waiting. It's waiting there. Okay. Pull that out. I think we're already zoomed. Oh no, we don't want to go that far back. Right around there. Okay. Do that. Go in a little bit more and turn. And that should be good. And tilt. And we get more of an angle. The desk is on an angle, so the phone should be too. The phone should kind of catch that angle a little bit more. There we go. It's more straight. Like, there we go. Okay. 6 likes. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You top fans. It says top fans. Little crowns, right? All right. So I'm going to see, just out of curiosity, this is the kind of detail. So let's zoom in for a minute to the craziest part of the picture. I think it's right here. So we don't want to go too, we'll go right in there. And we'll get right in here. Okay. So anything I pop out that's white with the dowel isn't going to be, it's not going to be the yellow. So that, but I do have some splashes and stuff that are going to work their way in on here. This is when you're first using the dowel and the fresh paint. The top of the wave over here. It'll all make sense later, hopefully. There's a window of time Createx Designs. I was in the wrong side, sorry. Hey, focus. I'll do it again because I was not aiming the picture in the right way. Little circles. Lots of them right here. You can just go kind of crazy. So I'm kind of going circular. And right here, obviously, this reappears. This wonderful lighter area. And it kind of just sits in there like that. I'm going to get a new eraser. Strong, brand new. I like the Helix erasers. I buy a lot of them at Hobby Lobby. 10 of them, $1.90, $1.49. I'll grab a bunch of them, and then I put it on. Now I can kind of clean that up. You can spray back over where you're going, so you get like a line like that. In the softer paint. And then you erase it. And you come back at it. There we go. Even if I get wider than I want, just spray it back with the airbrush. That might be more for a job of the aggressive eraser at that point, right in here. This is not the aggressive eraser. This is a dirty dowel stick. Let me see. Where was I? Right in here. Being rough right now, doesn't matter. Just kind of finding the big shape, squinting my eyes almost, getting it. All right, so what's going on here? So that big one cuts through. And then it just starts Does this get cut up almost? Probably right in here. Broken up. I broke that up. I gotta back this out. I'm making you guys miss things. Okay. So I'm just working around here. This wave connects, so I don't have to go crazy there. There's some nice orange there. I don't like that. Okay. Nothing white can't handle. Lots of speckles, lots of little things going on out there. There's some overspray. No, that's where it got a little wild. All right. So that's happening there, and I'm going to go back to the gray now. pretty strong there, so I put it in there. And okay, so just cleaning out the color cup as you guys talk amongst yourselves. Another thing that always fakes out the view yeah, the era of AI, I hate it. I'm sure you guys aren't too thrilled about it. Okay, this is going to take a lot of detailing. I'm going to put a little bit of, I'm going to try, get another cup. Man, my local guy that I buy these cups from has gone out of business. Restaurant supply houses are being beaten down by competition of the online. So I have to find my cups online, and that's it, you know? Got no other way. I don't, probably could find a place locally if I look, but I'll go in there and buy up a bunch of them. Well, doing a channel, you know, that's a lot of energy. You learn from your own channel. You definitely learn, you know, because you're forcing yourself to paint. Ask Michael that. Michael McClung, he's got his channel going on, and it forces you to just get projects ready. Bigger shapes, little shapes, whatever they are. This is having a little okay. All right, so we've got this back here. That would be a sharper edge of that one. What do I got in the gun? Nothing, honey. Okay, I'm going to go to the gray. It looks like I could use a lot of black on the small photograph, but if you look, it's a gray tone. It's got some blues in it. It's got, I mean, like sprayed maybe with, you know, later, like tinting it with, where is it now? Where is that color? I had it out. You don't want to take the lid off of it. There it is. I took the lid off. It looks so much like black, but good thing you could see the wall. You know, the wall of it tells you it's not the black. So I'm going to do that to this. I'm going to not worry about black right now. I'm going to get this shape in here. It'll be right down there. You can't see it too good on the small one. That's going to be black where I'm painting, but I'd rather just walk my way into it. This is the gray, and it's going to have shapes in it. Like that kind of stuff. in the airbrush down. How far back does it go? Gotta be careful not making the same shapes, same patterns, start looking bad. Because these are gonna come in on here. That's not a nice shape, I don't like that. Fixing that. Graying this out right here. Graying this out. Even the colors get lighter as it goes further away, right? So. Mm-hmm. Some of these shapes in here are so tiny, except if I try with the paintbrush, it'll eat away. I'm gonna just attempt to do that for a second, but it should probably eat away because of the reducer in there and stuff. And this is actually too dark, so it would work better here. It's not putting a hole in it, but it is getting some of the shapes I want. Like that. Top of this thing. Of course, that'll be black in the end. Yeah, it's starting to, I can see that orange starting to get hit a little bit. Yep. So many little shapes. So many that are going to be in here. And they'll just keep coming and coming, and they'll start making the water look darker. But so that's the bigger picture of starting the wave, I'd say. As far as the speckles, let's try. I mean, when it's dry, I could come in here with, oh gosh, opaque white paint, come back in here. Come back in here. What do we got in the gun? Okay, so we're gonna kind of go. Trying to find myself a little. Together. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to try to do some little speckles off here of the other color. Because it's all jumping around, even doing this stuff. Breaking away, more solid right here. There's a little gap, I just killed it. Okay, I'll make that round there. Yeah, it's going to be quite some work. Now I'll take the black. darken the front foreground. Make sure the black's coming out. Still gray. Hold on, so I got the right color? Yeah. There we go. That's what I'm seeing, these shapes. Slowly but surely. Good night, Steve. Thanks for popping on. Okay, let's see what we got here. Appreciate it, Steve. Thank you, sir. Well, you got to go eat, that's for sure, man. Yeah, I hear you. So, let's see. Ah, that color cup creep crashing in on me. Can't stand it. Okay. I'm gonna let that part be for now because it really and truly needs to be stared at. Does. It does need to be stared at. A little bit here and a little bit there. Okay. So, having said that, I'm going to clean the gun out. Yeah, when you do this kind of a thing, you need to stop and stare at it. There's other techniques I can do that I won't do on here because I'm not teaching that style or that technique, I should say, because it's more closer to what Drew does. It's what Drew does, and I'm just not teaching that. If I was getting paid one-on-one, that's a different story. He said I could do something like that, but right now, can't give away all the little things that he does. Some of the stuff we all know, some we don't. Put it all together, and you got a real nice package deal. So you could get the sunset kit that he sells, and all the stencils, all the details in the water are done. You're just going to learn how to spray and mix the right colors and spray through it. And I would like to have a number of those kits, because the more you have the instruction from the teacher you want, the more you're going to get polished. And I need that. Thunder. So what I'm doing is I'm mixing up a little bit of the white, off-white. I'm going to go after a little bit of the highlight above the cloud, just to kind of kick it up a little bit. So I need my white. fill my white too. Yeah. Okay. Reducer 4021. Where are you? Okay. So we got about 6 people hanging in there, just saying, what is he gonna do? What is this dude gonna do? Well, I'm gonna do a highlight around the top of the cloud, which is in this area up here. Gotta careful paint on your knuckles because you go to the surface and you can really quickly damage it. Okay, so overall, if you squint your eyes, it's like, hey, the picture's got the right colors, especially at the top. It's got all the right things happening. But in reality, there's, like I said, the bigger picture shows the lighter areas, much lighter than that, looking at a little photograph. So I have to pay attention to that so I don't lose it into this tiny picture. Okay, so there's going to be clouds in here. As you can see, the drawing is still there. There's going to be some clouds. These are my notes of what colors go where. And that's, again, something I'm not teaching. I'm just showing you because I'm not taking those notes off. They don't tell you nothing. They just show you that, hey, if you take, if you learn, and Drew doesn't even do it that way, but if he has his own style, I just come up with my own little thing for these live feeds. But you could see that there's, a lot more to it than just mixing something from the seat of your pants, just like, oh, I'm going to make that orange. It's like, are you really? Well, if you want to know how, then get the Drew Blair color kit. That's the one I highly recommend first over all the other kits, unless you're already a student and you're already understanding it. I was a student and I still wanted to understand it better and better, and I keep going out. I need a paintbrush. Just to get better at what I do. Repetition. Okay, I need orange. And what I'm trying to do, because it's actually a yellow, I got to see how this works. Might have put way too much in, and I think I did. All right, let's split this up into another cup. See, my white is out. This little white is just about out. But I have a big 16-ounce white. That is no longer 16 ounces, but I'm not out of white. I'm just, my little bottle is. The 16-ounce bottle, you don't want to be handling that, So let's see what we got here. Let's see how the gun is behaving. It's dirty. Okay. So yeah, you can watch this, like if you're brand new and you're trying to put it together, go back through step 1, part 1, part 2, part 3. And you can copy this. You can get this photograph from Unsplash. I had his name on one of the things that you'll find if you type in sunsets on the ocean or something. But his name is on one of my earlier advertisements. I think it's Gavin, or I don't want to say the wrong name because then you'll be looking for the wrong name on the thing. I'm sorry, I don't have it offhand. I should, because it gives him credit all the time. But it's on Unsplash. You can paint the same painting, right? With guidance. Totally being guided all the way. Okay, so the top of these clouds, which could have definitely more brownish in there. I'm going to see how this behaves on here. Outline them. Pretty thick outline too, and it's yellow. I'm putting the white down first, off white I should say, as I try to get this cluster, cover that ugly thing up there. Yeah, I went to the right spot there, that's right. So this is kind of like in here. I'm going to lighten this up. make it fatter, like that. And then I'm going to go around the outline again. You can always go back over the brown, but there's a nice thing going on here. And it cuts down into here a little bit. Like a cloud breaking away. And then it goes up in here a little too much volume there. And now I need to come outline these clouds again. Tip dry, right? They go all the way over to here. If I got a little too fat, I could just come back in with the real brown cloud and fix that. And then this kind of gets a little help here to put the yellow back on that. And there's a division right here. Let's see, I didn't even put that little cloud in yet. There's outlining down here. Kills the pencil line too. I'm just going over it, second coating it. Where does that burst up in there like this? It goes this way. Just cleaning up what's already there. And then it kind of just trails off and it goes this way. Weird little shape. Get rid of that pencil line. Because that white is actually grayer than I'm making it right now, but air dry that a little bit. A little blue shift, I think I'm getting. Okay, so I'm getting a little shift, so I'm gonna take care of that. Get that color to go through. Oh, slider. Don't want that. That might be too much 40-21 reducer. Okay. Before I get crazy, I'm going to go right over to my yellow. And I'll probably take the lightest yellow from the really beginning parts of this painting. And now those guys will be painted. Painted the yellow that I should say. What you got going in here? Have you ever painted a desert landscape? A desert landscape, probably, with cactus and things like that. Over the years, I would say it's probable, yeah, that I did. So I'm zooming in on the top of the painting. Let me just do this so you guys can see I'm changing that color right there. Now it's going to drop out of the way. There we go. Okay, hopefully you can see that. A little crooked. There we go. Okay, good. So now I'm going into a yellow. Ooh. Get rid of that other color. now. Is it bright enough? I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, no, it's the lightest yellow and it doesn't have the kick that I want. So I'm going to go to a more saturated yellow. The kick meaning saturation, more yellow, more vibrant. Yeah, that's what I want more. It's got a little color shift going on in there. I'm gonna have to fix that. Air dry that. Okay. All right, the only way to make that start to make more sense is to go with the brown. And we need the brown. Little baked potatoes here. Now that brown goes to orange. That goes to orange in there. So this comes over further. Oops, too much. Hole in the painting. Second coat that. Alright. So before I go crazy, I'm seeing that this one should have been more orange and the brown's more over there. So I'm going to leave that for now because the sky's looking pretty good and just don't want to ruin it. leaving room for the orange there too. As that cuts over and cuts in, there'll probably be some orange. That'll just kind of come in there. And then that street cloud meets up with a little bit of this. Connects right there. And then it kind of does its own little thing right there. Okay. Sorry guys. Oh boy, was that crooked? So I just added a little bit more of this darkness here. Bring it out. There's a little guy right here. It's really a little lighter than that, but and then there's a little fuzzy one here. Okay. Enough of that. That's one thing when you got to be careful with the actual reducers and stuff in it can start to attack paint under it. So on that note, I'm going to just move this off of this background so we can see it a little clearer. And like I said, fresh eyes on this guy will be, you know, a whole nother thing. So let me just get another background. Clean it up. Now there's no garbage around it or anything like that. And I'll back it out. Always looks nicer. All cleaned up. Bring this over. And there's what we have so far. So, yeah, I used to go out with the old camera and take a lot of nice pictures. It's fun. Photography is fun, man. But I'm not in exotic areas to get everything I want. I have to really, I don't know. I'm just not in those kind of areas to get what I get on Unsplash, and eventually I guess I'll be looking to pay for the ones that are really nice. Like I want my Mach 1, and the really good Mach 1, I have one, as far as, you know, the unbelievable 1970 351 Cleveland Mach 1. I've got a nice picture of it, but it's not the right angle. It's not. So if I go on to iStock or, you know, Getty Images and those that you've got to pay, you know, monthly, then you're going to get more what you want. You know, you're going to get a lot of beautiful pictures. You could say rear view rather of the Mach 1 or 3/4 view, and you can't really get that with Unsplash. They have some things you pay for on Unsplash, but it's not what I'm looking for as far as most of the time. Yeah, a little speckle here, a little speckle there, breaking away from, it's not going to speckle for me. There we go. Breaking away. Got to tighten things up. The splash is coming off the top. There's going to be a lot of details in here that are more yellow. It's almost like if you get tempted to take a toothbrush and go after it with the splatter like stars, you know. This is just a dowel that you can get through Drew's thing, and it works really nice with the synthetic paper here. Kind of get that look, sparkles on the night. So, thank you guys for hanging. And yeah, fine art's my thing. That's what I like. This is obviously needs a lot of detailing. I don't know, you know, it's going to be just a lot of putting in little shapes. So I don't know if we're going to do a part 4. I think people might start getting bored. I always say that, and then sometimes I pop up anyway, but my next project is going to be, now talk about photography. This is from my Nikon. I took this years ago at the golden hour. Okay, so we've got out of focus bokeh background. Well, it's out of focus blur. We've got beautiful lit up thorns that the light was coming through, and we've got leaves that are lighting up. We've got the see-through leaves and all that kind of stuff. So I'm probably going to paint this next. It's an original. It's from my camera, and I went out hunting for the right shot, and I think it's really pretty. So that's probably going to be what's going to be next week on a 5x7, just this size. So anyway, let me move that out of the way. Okay, guys, so let's see. Most of my life, airbrush artists were considered mostly second-class art. Yeah, I hear you. In the early days of my years, they would say it was slick, like a portrait was too slick. And well, just look at Drew Blair's stuff. It's beyond photograph. It's super, super real. So the airbrush has come a long way in making things be as real as oil painting or acrylics, the fine artists that do photorealism. It's, if you know how to use the airbrush, and sometimes mixed medias, you can get mediums. I mean, you can get yourself some really nice effects. Steve does that. Steve Lay, he does that with his paintbrushes and his airbrush. He knows how to hide the paintbrush work. Earlier today on the show here, my show and tell was landscapes, so I'll show at the end of the video. That was, again, this turned into a greeting card. I've seen it where people put scriptures on it, because once you take it, it's free. The image is free. I wanted to paint it, and so I just made it as a painting. There's the original. Colors are pretty close. You can see that. You know, when you lay them on there, there's a nice match there. A little more rosy violet there that can be sprayed in, and tighten up this area, tighten up that, and it's done. So that's, I really love painting landscapes. They're enjoyable. There's a sunrise on the ocean. Okay, again, that was on Unsplash. You'll see that there if you go looking. This was a while ago, so I do not have the artists and their names anymore. And I have one more I didn't show. So beforehand, I showed this in the beginning. Okay, I like painting the waves and stuff like that. And then this. This is another one that is got the pretty sunset, sunrise, whatever, and you got the water. They're like mountains, you know? They're like mountains. So, okay, guys, thanks for hanging out. And we did it. We did almost 2 hours tonight. I didn't think I would get to it, but that's it. Yeah. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. And there we go. Okay. I'll bring it over there a little bit. And that's next week's project there, the rose. And I will continue on this, so I say. I will. It's got enough abstract look to give you the feel of, yeah, all the little tiny speckles and stuff aren't there, but there's where I'm at. So what I could do is, if I work on it on my own, I could bring it in as I'm getting tight with some of this little super detail and just do a short video clip that would be like a few minutes long to show the technique. But thanks for hanging out, and be well. Have fun airbrushing. Just go after your dreams, as far as your starting a channel or whatever you want to do. Just mainly put the man hours in. Okay? Be well. God bless you guys, and good night.